gang, gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together till the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We got all the fuck in our veins, man. Me and my fans,
we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, meteorologist Tuttle back with you again. It is time to talk about weather because we finally have some interesting weather to deal with. So if you had a chance to read my blog, you do know there's some Arctic air coming. There's also a winter storm system coming as well. So those two will combine to provide a little monkey business across Oklahoma and maybe even surrounding states. So you've come to the right place to get to all the details. Now, keep in mind, again, it is just Monday. So this is a long time to talk about the storm system. And we're going to tell you what we can tell you here for today. We're going to kind of give you caveats. But what we're going to be watching for over the coming days to see what all is going to happen. So please like and share this video. Tell your friends and family about AT's weather. Hit the old share button on your Facebook post. YouTube and Facebook, make sure you tap the notifications to get noted when I go live. Speaking of which, on Facebook, I'm going to hit the enter button here. And when you do, you're going to see a link where you can opt in to get notification directly from me when I go live. So I just sent out a few hundred of those here this evening a moment ago. That way you do not miss a live update, because I should be going live pretty often here this week because winter storm is fun. You know, I like winter storm forecasting. It's exciting. I mean, come on now. I mean, come on. Otherwise, it's just boring. Who wants that nonsense? And people want snow this time of the year typically. So we're going to put some smiles, I think, on some faces. We'll see what happens. All right, so first thing I want to do here, before we get to that, we do have some rainfall coming, just so you know. Put this in motion for you. This will be going into Tuesday morning. So this is late tonight into early tomorrow morning. You do see some pockets of some heavier showers popping up here. I don't expect any thunderstorm activity. I guess you could get a rogue lightning strike with this, especially across northeast Oklahoma. But otherwise, we're talking about just some light showers that moving on through. There's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So kind of get the idea. For your morning drive around the state here, you're not going to run into a few sprinkles, some glorified showers. That's about it. So nothing really substantial in the rainfall bucket, but that is what's going to happen here for tonight and tomorrow morning. Now, as we head into Wednesday morning, another round of some light showers making its way across the southeastern third of the state. We'll kind of, once again, pretty much call the I-44 corridor the dividing line. I don't expect much northwest of this boundary, so most of it should be for southeast Oklahoma. And this is again on Wednesday in the early morning hours through about lunchtime. So here's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. So there's your 2 rounds of rainfall to speak of here this week. As we talked about, the amounts will be pretty pathetic. I'll plot you a rainfall total for that. The best amounts will be in northeast Oklahoma. Up in the southeastern Kansas, might get about an inch of rain up in that area. There are some streaks of some heavier showers up here around the Tulsa area, maybe up to about a quarter of an inch or so, and then southeast Oklahoma. But central Oklahoma, anywhere from just enough to get a few dots of dry dust on your windshield to maybe a tenth of an inch to kind of get the pavement wet for you. All right, so that's what's happening in the short term. Now let's focus on the long term. So upper level storm system is coming our way. Now last time we looked at this, the model data, none of the models had a closed upper low. Now tonight, they do have something right here. You see this? That's my little spotlight button for you. So that is our area of interest, and this is turning into a closed low. Now when this happens, the ability to produce more snow goes up quite a bit higher than it would be if it was an open wave. So the first thing you want, if you want snow, is a closed low. Ta-da! So this is the UK Met, all right? And this is the position I'm going to take a look. This is just a model, by the way. I'm going to take a look at Sunday morning. So I'm just going to do a snapshot in time just to show you the variance that we have to deal with here. So that's where the UK Met has that upper low. The American model has a little bit more to the east, but kind of in the same general area out here in the western parts of Texas. All right, so there's two for general vicinity and general same kind of a look. The Canadian model has more of an open wave. It's a little slow to get that closed low going, but it's got over Dallas-Fort Worth area, at least whatever kind of low it's trying to develop. The European model has a closed low, but quite a bit faster. Already has it now into eastern Oklahoma by Sunday morning, which means the system has already passed us for the most part. And then that's it. So those models are all going to fight it, duke it out for the position. That's a big change to go from either out here in the Panhandle area or out here in eastern Oklahoma. I mean, that's a big difference on timing. And this is for Sunday morning. So regardless, the storm is coming in from the west, and it's just kind of a timing thing that we're trying to narrow down when the precipitation should start and all that business. Now, this is not the only story. I want to show you the temperatures that are coming along with this, and we're just going to fast forward to the good stuff. So this is Saturday. Let's see, there's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, rather. All right, so you can see Oklahoma City, not bad, pretty mild in the upper 50s to near 16. That pretty much across most of Oklahoma. If you look up here in the northwest, though, you see this hard line in the sand? Well, you can guess what that is, right? So that is our Arctic front, and that is heading to the southeast quickly. So if you notice the temperature contrast from 58 degrees to 24 degrees behind that boundary. So let's go through time here. Here's 9 o'clock in the morning. That's noontime. Whoa, it just blew through Oklahoma City, dropped us from near 60 to about 36 degrees. That's almost about a 30-degree temperature drop in just about an hour or two of time. If you look up here, we got 15 degrees in Liberal, Kansas. Oh my goodness. So we go to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 26. As we head into 6 o'clock Saturday evening, that is an actual air temperature of 20 degrees. That is not a wind chill. I'll show you that in a second. That's an actual air temperature. 16 degrees in Enid, Elk City, 17. Woodward, up around 14 degrees. Oh, that's Saturday afternoon, folks. So we dropped about 40 degrees at that point in time. 9 o'clock, we're in the teens. At midnight, we're at 16 degrees. So in the entire day, from midnight to midnight, we're going to drop almost about 50 degrees behind this Polar Express. So we call it a blue norther, and that's pretty downright chilly. I mean, that's gross, right? If we head into the morning hours, it kind of bottoms out. So if things get any colder, it shouldn't. I mean, we're 12 degrees Ponca City. It's about as cold as it's going to get. Otherwise, lots of teens out there. Now, we talked about the wind chill value. Let's take a look at that. So we'll just fast forward there. How about -2 and -3 in Liberal, Kansas for Saturday in the morning hours? Now, Oklahoma City, we quickly dropped from the 20s to the teens for Saturday afternoon. Single digits up there in northwest Oklahoma, and yes, below zero is what it's going to feel like out here in northwest Oklahoma in the purple area, and that expands south at 6 o'clock in the evening. For Saturday, where it feels like 4 or 3 degrees here in Oklahoma City, but it's going to feel like -2. And Enid, Elk City is going to feel like -3. Woodward out here, -6 degrees. Ugh. And here's 9 o'clock, below zero. Midnight, below zero. 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning, several areas either at, near, or below zero for wind chill value. So make sure, if you're going to be outdoors any length of time, you have got to bundle up because you will get injured with frostbite, etc. if you do not. Okay, let's jump to the precipitation. So Friday, As a storm system approaches and another cold front approaches, we're starting to get a return of some moisture. So expect some rain, some showers scattered about for late Friday afternoon into Friday evening and Friday night. So here's Saturday, 3 o'clock in the morning. Here is the 6 a.m. time frame. And what you're noticing here, of course, is some heavier rain in southeast Oklahoma, but you're also noticing a mixture of rain, sleet, snow, some freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet. So there's just a whole big batch of mess up here in northwest Oklahoma and into Kansas for Saturday early morning. Here's 9 o'clock in the morning, front course moving through Oklahoma City by that point in time. Now, look how most of the precipitation fell across Kansas. Not a whole lot fell across Oklahoma City and points south or west, or just some rain across east. Now, with the cold front itself, I do think we'll squeeze out a little bit of sleet. Those little bitty hard pellets, they're see-through, little clear, like little clear things of ice. If you could shrink ice cubes down to really tiny, that's what that would be. So we might see a little bit of that with the passage of the front, just because temperatures are dropping so fast, and it'll squeeze out any moisture with it. But now let's talk about with that upper level low coming in. Here is 6 p.m. on Saturday. We have some light flurries and some light snow out here in western Oklahoma. Now, this is based off the European model, which is the fastest. Keep that in mind. It's also the farthest north with the snow track. Also keep that in mind. But there's 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and so there's some light snow moving through. 9 o'clock, here's midnight. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, all the blue represents snow. There's 6 a.m., so some heavy snow falling around McAllister and Muskogee. And then it's out of here by lunchtime on Sunday. Now, keep in mind, again, this is a faster model than the others. And is there any credence to this? Well, if we take a look at this model and look at its ensembles, in other words, a blend of all the different runs that we can do with this, we push one model, we nudge it in different directions, just to see what the output is. Is it consistent? Is this an outlier? Or if we were to kind of nudge the model different directions with slightly different parameters, does it give the same result? All right. So if we look at this, and there's 50 of these, there's not a whole lot of consensus. Here's one panel for some snow here in Texas. Here's a good one here. Nice little winter storm signal. This one over here is kind of a weak one, but it's got something there. Here's one down in Texas. Here's one here. Now that's out of 25 panels on this one. If we go to the next group of panels, here's a little signal here again in Texas here. Here's one for Oklahoma. Here's a good one here for North Texas. Here's a really strong one down here for North Texas as well. So you notice, if you're in Dallas-Fort Worth, you are actually in the path of potential snow. And down here, here's a good one here, and here's some actually ice out here in the western parts of Texas with a little slower look to it. So what this says is that the model is still not certain on the speed, faster or slower. It does have some runs that are much slower, but it also has much runs that are farther south. So we're going to have to see what happens. We're still early, but that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Here's a look at the little thin line of some sleet accumulations along the I-44 corridor that the models are hinting at for Saturday during the day as that front moves through. Now, if we do take the operational run of the European as it is, knock on wood, and we factor in the liquid to snow ratio, which will change during the event from a standard probably 8-to-1 to maybe as high as 14 or 15-to-1 with dry air coming in. It looks like about a dusting of snow, so 1 inch to 2 to maybe 3 across the state. Now again, this snowfall maps, this will change 1,000 times between now and Saturday. I'm only showing you this to kind of give you an idea that the signal is fairly strong for snow output. Now we look at the American model. This is actually the beta version of the newer version of this, so this isn't even the operational run. I like to use the newer version sometimes when we're looking at stuff, and it does have a little bit more of a northward track and a stronger track, and actually has quite a bit of snow, some stupid amounts, 6 to 7 to 8 inches of snow. And this is just from Dallas-Fort Worth into southern Oklahoma, just a dusting here in Oklahoma City. But then you can see the point being is that how sometimes you can get a very narrow track, right? And that's just the way snow goes. It's feast or famine sometimes. If you live around here long enough, you know that we can have a very narrow corridor of 100 to 150 miles of decent snow, and on either side of that band you get nothing, and you have to like it. All right, now temperature-wise, again, we got a big cold front coming in on Saturday. That'll drop those temperatures down during the day, so quite cold Sunday morning. Then we're going to warm up a little bit. Overnight lows, we'll get out of these teens and 20s here pretty quickly, so it's a short taste of true winter weather. Now, if you notice, we'll be in the 60s here for the next few days. Overnight low is still pretty chilly, though. Now, if we take a look beyond. This is just going to be looking at one model, just to kind of give you an idea that another taste of Arctic air is on the horizon. And again, this may not pan out completely, but the point is the signals there we'll have to watch for. Single digit low temperatures, 7-9 degrees. Oh my goodness, daytime highs in the 20s. So yes, where is the cold air? It's in Canada currently. Where will it be for the first week of January? In Oklahoma. So now let's just go way out there. Do you want some snow like long term? How's it looking on the European model? We can take that, a ensemble version of that, and just see how it is on a signal. Now this is going to be sometimes like throwing darts, but it's just curious. This is just a curiosity in me. How does it look overall for 45 days from now, all the way up through the first week of February? In other words, are we going to have a snowy January? It basically is what this model is going to tell us. And if we look at each of these little lines, they represent one of those 50 nudges that we talked about. And some of these nudges in the pink and in the purple, anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of snow. But if you do see, there's some with no snow at all. And there's some here kind of in the 2 to 3 to 4 inch range. And there's some in just the dusting, 1 to 2 inches. So if you were to average all that out, we're looking at only about 2 inches of snow from basically the very end of December through the first week of February. Now notice it doesn't even include the short-term forecast for this weekend. So it doesn't even pick up on that. This run is also runs about every 24 hours, so it's a little slow. It's a mean run, so it's a little always behind the curve, but it's not made for short-term forecasts. It's made for long range. So take it for what it is, grain of salt, whether that's good or bad. At least there's a snow signal. You know, that's the only thing I tell you. When you do look at monthly precipitation anomalies, in other words, you know, we're going to be wetter than normal, drier than normal, all that kind of stuff. Again, grain of salt when you do long-term forecast ranges. I like to look at it, but that's about it. I put very little weight on them, but I'm going to show it to you just so you can see what the models think is going to happen. Okay, so we look at, let's see, that's the December. It's got us mostly dry, which has actually been pretty good. Let's see, for January, it has us kind of neutral. Far southeast Oklahoma in the green, so it's a little bit wetter than normal. Let's go to February. All right, February, same kind of deal. It's got a little wetter out here across eastern third of Oklahoma, otherwise kind of normal on the precipitation side. As we head into March, it has this normal to a little drier across the area. It's the brown color showing up. And there's April, kind of a mixture of normal to dry. So overall, precipitation-wise, it's near normal. All right. Okay, what about temperatures? This is interesting. All right, so for December, it has way above normal. And honestly, that was actually a pretty good forecast because most of our December was record-breaking for Christmas. My goodness. For January, it also thinks we're going to be about a degree. If you were to average everything out, it's like a degree. I mean, it's a lot of red on the map, right? But it ends up being just about a degree to 2 degrees, all right, above normal. So not a huge discrepancy. Of course, it keeps the colder up here across Alaska and Canada, where it traps it for most of the winter, which is honestly really standard. February, same idea. Just kind of keeps it trapped up here, and then we get glancing blows here and there. But otherwise, for February, it's also got us just a little above normal. March, yep, still a little above normal. April, a little above normal. May and June. So no record heat, temperature-wise, just a little above normal each of those. So if you just want to look at long terms, kind of get an idea of what could be coming our way, that's how the models look. And that's kind of what like the energy sector looks like. Traders from oil and gas and all that kind of stuff, when they're trying to just get any edge they can for pricing, they look at this kind of long-range stuff. But when it comes to actually forecasting for what you're going to expect at home, it's hard to translate that accurately. The skill level is very low. So keep that in mind anytime you see long-range forecasts for any climate period for, 3 months, 6 months. Look, man, you might as well go look at the rodents and the insects and see what they tell you, because a lot of times that's about the same amount of skill. Okay, so that's what I have for you here as far as the overall view of how things ought to look for the next several days. Guys on YouTube, thanks for checking in, by the way. Matt's on his way back. Hope you have safe travels. And always, Jim, checking in from Mustang. He's not looking forward for the weekend. Perry doesn't want an Arctic blast, so I'm sorry. We're going to have to deal with it. But you can handle it. It'll only be for a couple of days. But yes, that is going to be this Saturday. So get ready. Stet's ready for it. Yeah, Nikki, you got it. You logged in just in time to hear the word snow. So we shall see how much snow we get. Right now, it just looks like a light, but we're only Monday. And it all depends on the exact track of that upper level low and the timing as to how much and when all that stuff comes in. So I'm going to glance through Facebook here real quick, check out your comments. Patsy's up there in Oregon, 8 inches of snow incoming. Yeah, my brother lives up there east of Seattle. He sent me a picture of some nice dusting of snow up there. I said, I thought it only rained in your backyard. He said, no, we get snow. Let's see, what else we got? Manette's checking in from Shawnee. Mimi, Merry Christmas right back to you from the Tuttle family, and Happy New Year. Jana's checking in from Holdenville. You got it. You're welcome. Chris, thank you for the stars tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Michelle, good to see you. Hello right back to you. Bruce, thank you for the stars tonight. Emily, yes, we did. Thank you. Minette, right back at you. Ron, thank you for the stars. Kelly says no snow. And Ashley then says let it snow. The two of you are going to have to duke it out. Let's see. Yep, a blue northern. Emily's ready for some pretty snow. Honestly, I just love snow. It doesn't stick around that long most of the time. Knock on wood. How's it look in western Oklahoma? Traveling to Colorado and Amarillo and Albuquerque, leaving Thursday evening. Boy, Zach needs a personal forecast. Make sure you use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It's free. Apple, Google Play. You can use that, and it'll keep tabs on your travels. It's all across the U.S. It'll let you know about winter weather just as it does tornadoes. Christina says that's disgusting. My wife says grab your warm clothes. She means it. She knows from experience what that kind of cold weather's like. Lou, thank you for the 200 stars. Appreciate you, man. All right. Yes, Ron, this will change, obviously. We are only on Monday. Manette's already going to raid Walmart tonight for milk and bread. She's going to be ahead of the curve. Nice joke there, Serena. Emmanuel's watching from Tulsa. Thanks for tagging me. Those great pictures you're taking up there on Twitter. Jeff is checking in from Michigan. Jeff Tuttle. Hey, Jeff, since you got the last name of Tuttle, let me tell you, if you go to my wall here on Facebook and you scroll down, I think just 2 posts or 3 posts, it's near the top. I give you a link to where anyone can type in their last name, and it will give you a genealogy, geographical view of where all your people are. So, for example, I typed in Tuttle, and it doesn't track you. There's nothing you have to add. You don't have to put in anything else. Just type in the last name. It just shows you a map of where all the Tuttles are. And we're heavy, of course, in the United States. We're also kind of heavy in Canada, but we're second heaviest in England. And so it looks like that's where most of our Tuttles came from England. We got some in Australia, and there's some in a couple of little smaller countries. But that's really cool. So if you want to do that, anyone else, just go down there. You can find out where your family is from. It'll give you the number of people. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Liz. Got a cattle show on Sunday. You have to wash the cows that morning at minus 15 degrees with a wind chill of 0. Woo! I do not envy you on that one. Junior, thanks for the stars tonight. I hope there's no slipping and sliding. Did I just miss the whole broadcast? Adina, oh my goodness. You must be late to the party. LTTP. Lived in Iceland, so this is warm. Sharon, oh my goodness, what were you doing there? And how did you come here from Iceland? There's so many questions I need answers to. Esther, my son-in-law is not going to be happy if we don't get snow. It usually does snow in Oklahoma every winter, so you got that going. You just had to hang around for a while. Joanne checking in from Paul's Valley, but Junior does not want the snow. My dad is from Middlesboro, Kentucky. So we have a lot of Tuttles kind of around Oklahoma and Texas, but it's always cool to kind of know where you came from in general terms. And with me, I kind of have a mix. I've got, because, my mom's side, they're Arians, believe it or not. And So my grandfather, his mother was half Cherokee. So I have some Indian in me, as well as obviously some Irish or something over there in England, just because of the fair, red hair, fair skin, blue eyes kind of a deal. So I'm kind of a mix, but I kind of always find that stuff kind of fascinating. All right, so let me see. Anything else on YouTube? That's it. Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what. We're going to do some broadcast this week. If you missed it, you can always start over. It was, it was a little mouthy tonight. And I went on, was about 10 minutes worth of weather chatting there, maybe 15 at most. You can skip right through the first few minutes if you don't want to hear about the weather coming in for tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday. Just a little rain. But the short term, little rain across the state tonight, and then again Wednesday and early morning. That moves out of here. The big story is going to be the cold air. Arctic air moves in Saturday during the day. From early morning, clears the state, I think, in the early evening hours. Temperatures drop almost about 50 degrees. That's a big drop. Squeeze out a little sleet with the front. Won't do anything to the roads. Wind chill value is going to get down to the teens as that front passes you. So it's going to be a brutal Saturday afternoon and a brutal Saturday evening and overnight. The storm system comes in from the west. Sometime during that time frame, it could come in, depending on which model is right, it could come in either Saturday afternoon or it could come in Saturday evening, like closer to midnight. So it can easily be a 6 to 9 hour difference in timing as when everything starts. But regardless, most of it will be in the overnight period for Saturday night and the Sunday morning. And then the system moves away. And right now, looks like a pretty good mixture of some snow across North Texas and Oklahoma. Odds are right now the best potential for accumulating snow is across the southern half of Oklahoma and the northern half of North Texas. So right kind of east-west along I-20. So that does include Dallas-Fort Worth and points north to the Red River. So that's kind of the Red River is kind of the central point of that track as of tonight. But I must caution you, it is Monday, and that track jots 100 miles north, takes everything north with it. Jogs 100 miles south, then it takes everything south with it. So, and this far away, you can't make that call, unfortunately. But it is in the vicinity, it is in the area, and so that's what we have to work for. So that's our signal. It's a good signal for our first storm event. And, of course, ground temperatures will be warm, so some of it will melt. But the fact that it's so cold and nasty, bridges and overpasses will obviously be susceptible to any precipitation they get Saturday evening and overnight and Sunday morning, so be careful there. And then we'll just have to see how it plays out. And we'll be doing that, looking at the details here over the next coming days. So be sure you check in. Again, click the link on Facebook if you want to get notified when I go live so you don't miss it. The opt-in button, and follow the prompts there, and you'll get notified on your Facebook instant messenger. And then if you're on YouTube, tap the bell. YouTube never fails. You'll always get live notifications on YouTube. Even if you like to watch on Facebook and you don't want to watch on YouTube, it's fine. Just go to YouTube anyway. Tap the bell so at least you get notified, and then you can watch on Facebook. That way you can chat with all your friends. And remember, you can also always streamcast this to your big TV if you'd like, so you can see the graphics bigger. And some smart TVs have all the stuff built in, Facebook and YouTube app. You can pull it up that way as well. So, all right, well, that is it for me. Thanks for your support, for the stars tonight, for the love, for sharing and liking, and we'll talk again soon. Good night, everybody.